Good morning, everybody. Welcome to First Church of Religious Science here in New York City. I want to give a special welcome to all of you joining us from around the globe on Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube. We're delighted to welcome you, each and every one of you, to what's become probably one of the largest religious science virtual gatherings anywhere. The thing I'd like to say is your presence and all that you share in our gatherings. People are really sharing a lot of wonderful demonstrations. And it doesn't matter if you're sharing it from, any part of the country or through Facebook or YouTube. It's really meaningful and we appreciate it. All your comments when you're on the Zoom enrich us, and that adds a really special warmth to our gathering. Today, as we delve into the third chapter of our textbook, we continue on a path of enlightenment and spiritual discovery. Together, we're not just learning, we're journeying together towards a deeper understanding and a more profound connection with the world around us. Our regular Sunday mornings, as you know, start at 10:45, and they're a tapestry of shared experiences and growth. Every Wednesday night, we have a creative living series that starts at 7, and we have our long-standing Louise, Hey, You Can Heal Your Life class that's every Thursday at 7 p.m. That seems to be the group that has the largest turnout. Louise Hay was a practitioner here at First Church and a staff minister. So our sessions are accessible by Zoom link. Most of you are watching on Zoom today, but many of you are also watching on Facebook and YouTube. If you're watching us on any of the social media, I'd like to invite you to send us your contact information, your email, and it'd be wonderful if you could join us on Zoom, because there's a lot of personal sharing demonstrations that you miss out on if you're only watching us on Facebook or YouTube. Facebook and YouTube, however, are absolutely wonderful for us because we can go back also and listen to any of the lessons over and over again, 24 hours a day. There's meditations, there's lessons on just about every subject. So it's really a wonderful resource. Our website also has got a ton of wonderful material, talks by Raymond Charles Barker and Grayson, myself. So make sure you check out the links, which we always put in the chat 2 or 3 times through any broadcast we do. Send Jimmy a hello by private message with your email and your number, and we'll be sure that you're invited. Or if there's anyone that you would, in your family, you would like to add, send it to us and by private message, okay? So at First Church, we embrace the abundance that life offers us with gratitude. All of our broadcasts and activities are complementary, reflecting our belief in being perpetually supported and supplied. If our teaching, if what we're doing resonates with you personally and you feel inspired and you want to support our mission of healing and spiritual growth, we warmly welcome you to make a love offering if you'd like. Your love offering not only blesses you, but it reflects the abundance within our community, and it helps us to extend our work, what we do, to people all over the country and the globe. Again, always go to the chat, the links. There's links there for donations. There's links there for information. There's links for YouTube and Facebook. And alternatively, you're always welcome to send a check to First Church of Religious Science here at 204 West 84th Street, New York, New York, 10024. That's 204 West 84th Street, New York, New York, 10024. I want to say we're deeply grateful for everyone's generosity. Generosity, we see it in donations, we see it in compliments, we see it in testimonials, and it's quite amazing. We're really inspired and very grateful. It makes us want to try to deliver better and more programs for you. So again, I'm floored with all the messages, especially this past month, where people are commenting how the teaching has impacted their lives. That's the big thing. We've always had great ministers, but the star of the show is the teaching. And we had the great Raymond Charles Barker, he was a force. I could tell you many jokes about him, but he was really wonderful. And Stuart Grayson after him, and then of course Rev Wade, and Louise being here herself. They would all say the same thing. It's the teaching that is the star of the show. Ernest Holmes was always only concerned with people waking up to the divinity that they possess within themselves. He wasn't too terribly concerned about churches. He was concerned about the teaching being available and surviving. And we're adapting as we go here at First Church, trying to understand which way the wind is blowing. And we believe our virtual community is really wonderful, and it continues to grow, and it will continue to grow, thanks to everyone here. So what can I do? Let's go on to the next section. Done my promotional part. I want to read from the textbook a piece that we always used to read. And I'm getting reacquainted with the textbook again because I'm going over these first lessons. The textbook, by the way, was written approximately 100 years ago. And as I find myself reading it again, because I have many times in my life, I'm struck by how much wisdom is there, and I'm also struck how the language is probably heavy or a little bit difficult for many people. But there's so many pearls of wisdom here, and today I'm doing my best to present the third chapter to you in a way that's accessible, understandable, without you having to deal with, I'll say, the older language, for lack of a better way of saying it. But in the textbook, we've got a passage that says, "These lessons are dedicated to the truth that liberates individuals from their limitations, setting them on a path of new experiences." So we're always in the business here of releasing our limitations, our stories, right? And Holmes said over 100 years ago, that's what we do. That's what our lessons are about. They're dedicated to liberating the individual from our own stories and our own nonsense, our sins, which means self-imposed nonsense, according to Alan Cohen. So let's get into the third chapter, what it does a little bit. In the fabric of our lives, a silent power resides. Oh, this is my little poem first, my intro poem. In the fabric of our lives, a silent power resides, woven in each moment, in every turn it hides. It's the force that shapes our destiny, the artist of our days. Join me now, let's uncover the mystery of its ways. It's the unseen sculptor of our dreams, the weaver of our fate, crafting stories in the cosmos, both small and great. And every thought, a universe, and every dream, a clue. Today, we explore the marvels of what it does. It's true. This power, ever present in the stars and in our minds, guides our journey, guides our discoveries, our purpose. So let's embark on this voyage with hearts open and aware to see the wonders of this force hidden everywhere. So what it does, the chapters have interesting titles. I invite you to pick up a copy of the textbook. If you become serious about the teaching, it would probably be good to own one, and also to pick up a concordance. A concordance is a book where you can look up passages and then you can find them in the textbook. The textbook is a textbook. It doesn't read like a novel. It's something that people study. It's not necessarily the easiest book, but it's worth owning, and having the concordance is definitely a help. So in the chapter, what it does, which is the third chapter, Ernest Holmes is advising us that we ought to approach the study of this science, the science of mind, rationally, never expecting to derive any benefit from it that its principle does not contain. Now, that's a word that most people don't understand. When we talk about principle in religious science, we're talking about the single principle. When I became a minister, it was one of the exam questions. And they said, talk about divine principle. And they said, you as a minister need to get excited about divine principle each and every week you speak. And what they're talking about is the principle of life is that life is responding to you. So we should approach this study, Holmes says, rationally, never expecting to derive anything from it that its principle doesn't contain. Well, here's the thing. We're talking about something that's infinite, all-powerful, all-knowing. It contains everything. So when we approach it and we learn to work with it, we understand that it has all the power that you can ever imagine. And it's available to all of us once we learn how to use it. So, while it's true that we're immersed in this infinite intelligence, this infinite creativity, a mind that knows everything, it's also true that this intelligence can acquaint us with its ideas only as we are able and willing to perceive them and receive them. So that gets back to the whole Louise Hay idea of you approaching the ocean of life. What kind of a container do you have? How big is your container? Because what Holmes is saying in this third chapter is this infinite intelligence can acquaint us with its ideas only as we're able and willing to receive them. So that would suggest we got to throw away the stuff that's holding us back. Because if we're hanging on to a bunch of stuff, our hands are clenched. There's no way anybody can pour anything into a clenched fist. So the universe in this chapter, this intelligence that we're becoming acquainted with, will give you everything if you're willing and you're open and you're receptive to receive the good that's available. You've heard before the kingdom's God is at hand. Well, it is. So the divine mind, he says, is infinite. It contains all knowledge and wisdom. But before it can reveal its secrets, it must have an outlet in you. So if I'm walking around in my life and my outlet is kind of small, it can only give me what it can give through me. If I walk around with a very expansive, worldview and idea and positive expectancy that all things good are going to happen, if my expectancy and my outlet is, enormous, then it won't deny me anything. It won't deny you anything. So he's trying to make that point. I'm trying to amplify it so you make sure everyone understands it. It's an infinite mind. It contains all the knowledge and wisdom in the world, but before it will reveal its secrets, it must have an outlet in you. This outlet we shall be compelled to supply through our own receptive mentalities. So you'll hear some of the ministers, Reverend Judith, myself, and others will say something like, God can't do for you what God can't do through you. Now, we don't always use the word God anymore, but use whatever word you prefer. This universal force can't do for you what it can't do through you. So we want to open up all channels, or as David Walker, a past president of religious science, used to say, we want to open up all avenues in mind so that we can receive great good. If you keep on saying, I don't deserve it, or I'm no good, I'm a sinner, I know well, if you keep telling yourself, poor me, it's kind of like a small channel, a small outlet. He's talking about outlets. So we're in the business here of trading in lesser ideas for greater, and we really want to cultivate a very big vision for ourselves and for humanity, for the world, including peace and power and prosperity and abundance. And wherever there's problems, you don't buy into the problems. You have a much, much bigger outlet and expectancy. Where all is truly well in your life and all is well in the world. And you just simply do not buy into the SIN, self-imposed nonsense, and all the stuff you're going to find in cable news, etc. This outlet, he said, we will be compelled again to supply through our own receptive mentality. So we want to see ourselves as being increasingly receptive. Raymond Charles Barker said, imagine yourself having a big bank account downtown with multiple millions of dollars in it with your name on it. And all you have to do is learn how to receive. Go down and learn how to receive learn the rules of the game so you can receive. Holmes went on to say in this chapter, all invention, every good thing in art, literature, government, law, any wisdom that's come to the human race has been given to it through those few who have deeply penetrated the secrets of nature. And he went on to say the mind of God. Again, every good thing that's ever happened through all of us, through people, through law, through wisdom, literature, art, has come to us initially through those who have deeply penetrated the secrets of nature and the mind of God. Think of the great scientists who've discovered the great laws that allow us to have electricity and propulsion and mastered gravity and navigation. Those laws were always around, but it took some person or group of person who has penetrated these laws, who deeply penetrate the secrets of nature and the mind of God. Perhaps the simplest way to state the proposition is to say that we're each surrounded by this creative intelligence that knows everything, and that the potential knowledge of all things exists in it, and we have direct access to it. That the abstract essence of beauty, the abstract essence of truth and wisdom coexist in the mind of the universe, and we also exist in it, and we may draw forth from it. So all the wisdom, all the knowledge, all the beauty, everything that we're a part of, we can draw from it. But here's the point that Ernest Holmes emphasizes, all in capital letters in the 3rd chapter. But we may draw from it. No, he says it this way. But what we may draw from it, we must draw through the channel of our own minds. So I think I've already said that like twice. Again, but what the good we may draw from it, we must draw through the channel of our own minds. So there needs to be an expansion here of positive expectancy in every area. Don't go on the dark side. Don't go on the negative. Keep challenging yourself to, see the good, see the God in everything. See yourself as being abundantly supported in every conceivable way. Health, wealth, creativity, relationships, all of it. We want to maintain or develop a conscious connection with Source. So I'll teach you every week. We live, move, we have our being in this divine consciousness and Source. We want to keep that consciousness alive as much as we can. Those of you who tune in 2 or 3 times a week, it's wonderful because we're going to keep on reminding you of how great you are and how you're supplied and supported and how you're one with the One. You yourself in your day-to-day activities can meditate, you can take time out, you can keep reminding yourself through affirmations, you can do your journal writing. Maintaining a conscious connection is very important because if you do, you're developing a sense of unity, a oneness with life. And if you have that established, Dr. Holmes is saying, you're making this conscious connection, you're going to start to derive the benefits from the greater mind. You'll start having demonstrations of every kind. The universal mind imparts to you great wisdom. He said the Spirit can give us only what we can take. Remember, again, from Louise, that her story about the ocean of life, and that we're always taking out of it according to what we're able to receive. Life imparts of itself only as we partake of its nature. I can tell you only he says, it can only tell you what you can understand in your own life. The infinite knowingness becomes our wisdom only to such degree as we embody its intelligence. So let's start with simple ideas. I'm supplied and supported. I'm one with the One. As you really start to embrace this, the infinite knowingness becomes your wisdom in the degree that you embody its intelligence. If you keep on thinking everybody's bad and you're in separation, you're in a story, life is going to have a tough time giving you the stuff that you want. Start with the simple things. Beginning to love yourself, changing your conversation around, realizing you are one with the one life. You're one with love, you're one with light. It's been said that we can know God only insofar as we can become God. It's a profound statement. We can know God or this source only insofar as we can become like this source. So we act as if, we come from a place of peace, power, love, joy, beauty, and wisdom because we know these to be attributes of the universe. This is a far-reaching thought, and it should be carefully meditated upon. Dr. Holmes suggested it is to be taken figuratively and not too literally, for we cannot really become God in totality. We're inlets and outlets of it. We are one with it, but we're not the totality of it. We can and we do partake of its divine nature. And the universal does personify itself through humankind in varying degrees according to man's receptivity to it. I've said many classes, people are doing the best they can with the information, the understanding, the awareness that they have. So everyone's evolving, everyone's in a different place. The universe does personify through humankind to varying degrees according to our receptivity to it. So it's comforting to know that there is this spirit, this God, this energy within you, and it's unfolding, it's evolving, and it is within everyone else. The next great point of chapter 3 is knowing that the universe is impersonal. The universe is impersonal. It generously offers its gifts to every single person without any favoritism, no matter what country you are, no matter what color you are, no matter what gender you are. The universe operates impersonally, and it generously, magnanimously gives to all alike. Each person is valued equally in its eyes. The universe is designed to share, and our role is always to receive the good, to receive. So standing in this light of that we are alive and we're awake in this divine substance, standing in this light that we're alive and awake in this divine energy, we sometimes can cast shadows across our own paths. As Emerson suggested, it's crucial to step aside from our egos to allow the flow of the divine energy. He used to say, get your bloated nothingness out of the way of the divine circuits. The thing is, if you get out of the way, the universe will reveal itself to you. If you take the time to go within and you center yourself and take a pause and know that all is well, and that deep at the center of your being, there is this thing that's in you that responds to you. Let your egos get out of the way and let it come in and inform you. And then have the willingness to let go of things, to trade in the lesser ideas, the old beefs, the griefs and all that. Just let it go, because that's of yesterday. And we're wanting to be about Spirit's business. I know most of us on the call. So we want to let go, and we want to embrace the now. Holmes next talks in chapter 3 of a riddle of simplicity. And it's a beautiful and profound idea to realize that we all stand in the presence of a mighty intelligence, and we're part of it, a pure wisdom and a spirit of generosity. And this isn't just for the privileged few or for the great scholars. Each and every one on this call and this broadcast are individualizations of spirit. None of us here can really calculate or know our true value. We can only know that we're part of the divine. The simplicity of faith often eludes the arrogant, Holmes said. But it's clear to people with pure hearts. If you slow down and you take a pause like we talk about all the time, slow down and be still and know that you are God, know that you're an aspect of God. It's always there. He said it's there for farmers, children at play, mothers, and lovers. Everyone has encountered this divine presence at different times in their life. We often look way too far off for what is right at hand. The kingdom is here and now. It's a journey without a distance. You're standing on holy ground. It's in you, operating through you, responding to you now. Our challenge is to unravel the riddle of its simplicity, to see the good, to see the divine in every single person and every aspect of life, to be here now fully, completely, and to connect with Source, to be aware that it's alive within you, and start embracing this beauty, the simplicity, and recognizing the universal life is in you now, and it's in everyone. And that's a crucial thing to understand, he said. It's perfectly represented, again, in every single person, in every single place. You don't have to worry about anyone. Whatever it is that's supporting you is supporting everyone everywhere. This universal spirit is part of our very nature, and we are immersed in it. We're immersed in its infinite wisdom. The real question is, how much of this truth will we choose to express in our lives, knowing that we have everything available to us? How much good are we willing to express, or will we express? How much good are you willing to see? That's your focus. Jimmy recently did a talk on, was flipping your perspective, your focus. How much good are you willing to see? Chuck C. wrote a great book years ago in recovery. It's Putting on a New Pair of Glasses. Well, the idea is knowing that you have this ability, this super ability, that you can make all things new. How much good are you willing to see? How much are you willing to let go of? Regardless of the approach you take, you can find God or truth in the sciences and philosophy, spirituality, in your day-to-day actions. Because God is all that there is, Spirit is all that there is. This universal spirit can be found in many forms. You can awaken to it in nature. Everything's God, so you can wake to it everywhere. We want to approach this understanding, he said, with a lightness of thought, embracing the universe's love and nature to provide what we're ready to receive. And speaking of love, in our textbook, we have an expression, love rules through law. Everything you can think of as divine energy. In exploring our teaching, we learn that everything is encompassed by both this energy, this love, and law. Love, this energy, governs through law. Love is the act of giving, and law is the path it follows. Love is always spontaneous, and law is impartial. It responds impersonally. So understanding the nature of reality requires balancing these two aspects, avoiding the pitfalls of seeing life as purely mechanical or purely spontaneous. A broader perspective of this reveals the infinite spirit is always working through an immutable law, creating a cosmos of order, perfection, and harmony. Love points the way. Love guides us always. It's in us, operating through us. It's always there, attempting to get your attention. So love is pointing the way, and law enables our journey. So they would say, and law makes the way possible. The scientific method, in any kind of discovery, we observe a blend of personal insight, it's our intuition, love, and the recognition of natural principles. Again, you can think of the laws. It's the mind that first discerns and utilizes these laws. So this process reflects the spirit within us, continually going within and discovering new realms of understanding. Do your meditation, inquire within. This process reflects us doing that, spirit within us, continually discovering new things, new realms, new understanding, symbolizing the eternal evolution of knowledge and existence. Our understanding of life and the solutions to our problems often will originate in mind. We start to understand, we get ideas out of the blue because we're connected with spirit. You might be having a dream, you wake up, things will come to you because you're one with the one. We are surrounded by a perfect life, but only the aspects that we truly understand and embody become part of our reality. This understanding is pivotal to shaping our hopes, expectations, and experiences. To truly benefit from any law, we must first comprehend it through our conscious mind. By affirming that we already possess the knowledge in the universal mind, we invite this understanding into our own minds, thus drawing infinite wisdom into our personal experience. The universal mind is a vast storehouse of all knowledge. It's the one. So the universal mind you can think of as the one mind is a vast storehouse of all knowledge, brimming with every conceivable possibility. Our mission, knowing that we are one with it, is to tap into this expansive wisdom and start to integrate it into our lives, knowing that we can trust it, knowing that it will be there for us when we need it. By recognizing and feeling the truth, this truth about our desires, we align ourselves with the infinite intelligence. That's what we do in the first and second step of treatment. We recognize and know that we are one with the one. We get connected. We're one with Source. This alignment unlocks knowledge and insights, bridging our individual consciousness with the universal consciousness. Everything is possible for you within universal mind, and we can achieve as much as you can imagine. Dream big, have big vision boards, big visions, so you can, really live the lives you've come here to experience. So we can achieve as much as we can imagine in alignment with its laws. If all the universe's wisdom were poured over us, we'd only grasp what we're prepared to understand, Dr. Holmes said. Again, he said, if all of the universe's wisdom was poured over us, we'd only grasp what we're prepared to understand. This is why different people draw different types of knowledge from the same source, each according to their unique consciousness and their capability. The universe is infinite, and the possibilities for differentiation are endless. Life becomes exactly what we need it to be when we believe in it. As such, just as all numbers derive from a fundamental unit and all material forms are manifestations of one formless being, one formless substance, all things originate from a source that's beyond person, place, or thing. All things originate from this great essence of all. When we do our spiritual work daily, our mental work, it's good to be focused, Dr. Holmes said. Every thought you think is shaping your life. It taps into the same principle. It uses the same law, and it's inspired by the same spirit, but it will yield different results. This diversity stems from our unity, as Emerson noted. We cannot bring forth both good and evil from one source. The universe, by the way, is inherently leaning towards goodness. So we can use life constructively. We can use the power of life constructively and align ourselves with it, and we will have positive demonstrations. We also have free will, and we can work against ourselves. But the universe inherently will lean towards goodness. So we will get lessons that will bring us forward one way or another. Our thoughts and our actions, Holmes said, ideally will align with constructive aims for us to be successful. We can't oppose the universe's course, but there's ample room for personal expression. Deep down, everyone knows the difference between right and wrong. Nobody has to punish anybody. Living joyfully, healthily, and freely aligns with the divine law and wisdom. We talk a lot about principle in our teaching in religious science. It's our core principle. This is the principle of life, meaning life responds to us 24 hours a day. It's what it does. It has no choice. As we review our core principle, let us know that we're surrounded by an infinite possibility that embodies goodness, life, law, and reason. And it expresses itself through us, and as it does, it becomes more aware of its own existence. Yes, as life is expressing itself through us, it becomes more aware of its own existence. It desires to manifest through us and as us, And as it does, it becomes the law of our lives. As Holmes was winding down this chapter, he was saying we must have faith. We must trust the process of life and have faith in its ability to provide for our needs, because you will always be provided for. This faith is essential for the principle to operate more effectively in our lives, meaning it's operating anyway. But if you align yourself with it and trust it more, your demonstrations will be amazing. You have power for good in the universe. You can use it. So to manifest a specific good, he says one must be consciously receptive to it. It would be a good idea to keep working on your affirmations, building up that consciousness. Work on your affirmative prayers, your vision boards, to keep consciously focused as much you can. No one can do it perfectly, but just keep gently bringing ourselves back, knowing we're supplied and supported. Affirmative prayer treatments are deliberate, conscious, explicit engagements with intelligence. We expect them to demonstrate. If you're taking the time to do an affirmative prayer, there's 5 steps, the time, the art, the method. You're really working with yourself. You're doing your work in mind, and you have every right to have positive expectancy that you will have a demonstration. There's no wishing or hoping to this process. An affirmative prayer treatment is a declaration within the law of mind, backed by unwavering faith. It's the secret to success and happiness is already within your reach. I was told many years ago, the healing has already occurred in the mind of God. So we're all moving towards, we're evolving towards wholeness, healing. But, we can learn to work with it. So there can be a quickening. All of us have this power. Each of us is currently manifesting our life's concept right now. But Holmes said, but conscious trained thought is much more powerful and potent than just random thinking. Most of you know you can use your power, as I said before, constructively, or you can use it destructively. It's entirely up to you. The more belief you put into your thoughts, the more powerful they become. Affirmative prayer is an active process. It's not about passively waiting, but it's about actively stating, sensing, feeling, knowing a specific good. This aligns with the principle that we aim to demonstrate. A passive approach will not yield active results, just as an artist can't paint without actively using his or her paints. We must provide the avenues for the creative energy to manifest. So we are creating these avenues of mind, knowing we are supplied and supported, we are loving and lovable, that we have everything we need. Once we have that in our consciousness, we create avenues of mind, so we will start to see demonstrations everywhere of what we truly know. There's no boundary to what thought can achieve. The universal mind is limitless in its capacity to create and manifest. As we provide specific, conscious directions to our thoughts, we shape the substance of our reality. We create our lives, we heal our lives. The process is much like, it's akin to pouring molten iron into molds, creating various shapes. The substance is formless, and it's ready to take any form that you provide from your consciousness. So this illustrates that there is a specific technique in affirmative prayer treatment that we must not overlook. If we desire a specific good, we must instill in our minds a realization of this good. You have to bring yourself to a place of realization where it's not just words. This idea then becomes the mold. It's filled by the necessary substance for the complete manifestation of it in our lives. When we think, something begins to happen. Something begins to happen to our thought. There's no reason to question this. Thought is inherently unlimited, reflecting the very nature of existence. Right at this moment, we're enveloped, every one of us on this call, in this gathering, right at this moment, everyone is enveloped and steeped with infinite goodness. So how much of this infinite bounty, this goodness, is truly yours? How much are you willing to take into your life today? The answer is simple and profound. I'll ask again, how much good are you willing to accept in your life right now? How much of this bounty is truly ours? And the answer is all of it. All of it is yours. And how much can you actually utilize? I'll ask it again. How much of this good can you actually utilize? The answer is precisely as much as we can embrace and manifest within our own life, within ourselves. So again, it's all available, every bit of it. And how much can you use? You can use all of it. And how much can you actually utilize? Precisely as much as you can embrace, manifest within your life. So this chapter was kind of short, but it has language that takes quite a bit of time to make plain. It's filled with important information. I hope this exploration today has been helpful and meaningful for everyone. I've endeavored to make this wonderful material that's about 100 years old more accessible, hoping it will resonate with more of you in our diverse and ever-expanding community. So let's do a closing affirmative prayer before we transition over to the part where we hear the good news and all of your wonderful sharing. Right here and right now, in this shared space of understanding and connection, let's recognize the boundless nature of the universe around us. The universe, abundant and brimming with potential, is not outside of us. It's within us in every breath we take, every thought, and every heartbeat. And I'm going to speak in the first person. I am a living embodiment of this infinite potential. My thoughts, my dreams, my actions are all my expressions of this cosmic energy. I'm not separate from the universe. I'm a vital, creative part of it. My desires and intentions are reflections of the universe's boundless creativity. So I declare with clarity and confidence my intentions are not just wishes. They're powerful affirmations of my truth, my purpose, and my place in the universe. I see my goals and my dreams manifesting, infused with vibrant creative energy. Creative energy of the universe that's aligned perfectly with my deepest truths. With a heart full of gratitude, I thank the universe for its generosity, for the abundance that flows in my life, for the journey that enriches me, and for the wonderful manifestations becoming or blossoming in my experience. This gratitude is a powerful magnet, attracting even more blessings and more abundance. And now with joy and unshakable trust, I release these intentions into the universe. I let go, knowing that the universe responds with love and power. I embrace this perfect unfolding of my life's path, confident in the timing and the beautiful journey that awaits. And so it is. So let's transition now to our shared space where we can hear everyone's good news. I love hearing how the teaching is working in your life, your demonstrations. Your demonstrations are very powerful for all of us. And we love hearing your comments and also receiving your messages. So I'm turning the microphones over to all of you now and to Jimmy, and can't wait to hear from you. Thank you very much.